Hello everyone and welcome to Motorhomes with American Tom. I'm Tom and this is the all-new 2024 Fleetwood Flair 28A. You got a lot of motorhome parked into a very short size. This one is great for getting into those smaller spots you find in national parks, state parks, or just 30-foot spots all together. We're going to take a look at everything on the outside, everything on the inside, tell you what we like and dislike about the motorhome. Let's get it on. Alright, so this is the all-new 2024 Fleetwood Flair 28A. A lot of motorhome, short in size. Let's take a look at everything we have on the outside. The first thing I see walking up is you got this really nice chrome mirror. You got frameless windows, a really, really long awning. Let's go ahead and put that thing out as we walk around. I like that this awning is basically the whole length of the motorhome. You know, this thing is 29 feet, tip to tail. They call it a 28A. But it just gives you a ton of space, great for your camping on the outside. That looks pretty good. We don't have to have it all the way out. It's providing some pretty good shade. Coming off the back, you can see you got your nice little doggy window. It's done frameless right there. It's really built for safety. As you're driving by, you can see who's in your blind spot right there, but we always call them the doggy windows because it works out really well for them. Now, the Fleetwood Flair 28A is on a real-life Class A motorhome chassis. A lot of Class C chassis weigh 12.5 or 14,500 pounds. This weighs a lot more, and then it has a Class A suspension and framework, which makes it far more maneuverable. You know, a lot of folks who look at a motorhome like this are considering Class Cs. By moving up to a Class A, I mean, this is smaller than a lot of Class A's, but you get the benefits, or a lot of Class C's, but you get the benefits of a Class A. Class A front axle is wider, back farther from the front, and turn sharper, so you get far more maneuverability to a comparably lengthed Class C. You got bigger tank sizes, you got a bigger fuel tank, and the more you weigh, the less you sway, so you're significantly more comfortable and stable on the road. So added maneuverability, added capacities altogether. Plus you get a Class A front end, so you got a way better cab, which gives you more elbow room up front, far more comfortable, big window up there. Let's take a look at the few of the features you have outside. Fleetwood does a great job with their outside entertainment. Look at the size of this TV. It's got to be a 43-inch or a 50-inch TV. You got outside speakers that tie into your electronics inside, so that's all Bluetooth from your phone. You've got USB outlets and electrical outlets right there. Side opening swing doors. Also, this is a pass-through bay, so you got tons of storage right here, and there are these really nice Teflon bays, so you can spray these clean if you need to. You have an outside exit there for running wires through when you have to have things plugged in. You have a built-in inverter here too with its own inverter disconnect, so that's pretty nice. Slam latch doors. Nice big 30-inch wide door right here. This is your furnace exhaust. A little bit of extra storage right there. Every little bit counts. Moving back here. Another storage there, and then your last one is going to be your propane hookup. Also, you can see right underneath, they wired in an exterior disconnect for an LP tank, so if you have a grill, you can kind of set it right here, just on the outside of that awning, so it's a really great setup. I want to point out that there's no slides over here. This is a two-slide motorhome, both over there on the driver's side, so this makes for a really nice camp area. You know, this is where you hang out. I don't even have this thing all the way out. You got plenty of shade, plenty of coverage, and you can still fit into those tiny spots, so it's a pretty nice setup. So this Ford F53 motorhome chassis that you have here has that 7.3 liter Godzilla engine V8, so you got plenty of power. You can tow 8,000 pounds as well. 7-way plug built in for hooking up to a tow vehicle, braking system, or lights on your tow vehicle. Here on the side, you can see you have your fuel fill. Now this has an 80-gallon fuel tank. This is a potable water fill. You have a black tank for large city water and an outside shower. Very easy to access here in an easy to reach spot. Let's open this one up. Now this is where you have your power hookup and then your drain. Now this is built up inside of the bay, so it's not hanging down underneath. That might create a clearance issue. You also have a whole house water filter built in right there, so that's pretty comfortable. Up. Moving alongside here, I want to point out on the slides here, you have both your slide toppers built in. That comes standard on this vehicle. Also, the decals are very straight-lined, streamlined, so it has a pretty modern look to it as we compare to a lot of the really swirly RVs we've seen in the past. This is a tankless suburban hot water heater, so unlimited hot water. This is going to be your generator, and this has a 4,000 watt Cummins Onan generator. This is a 30 amp coach. Now it does option for 50 amp in some instances, but at 30 amp, I mean, you can hook this thing up anywhere. So very convenient to have that accessibility, especially if you're going to get into those, some of those smaller spots, national parks that have a lot of 30 amp hookups. And then your last bay, this is the other side of that pass-through bay that we saw from the front. Same Teflon space there, good space to slide things through. That's pretty nice there. Cameras on the sides. So on your chrome mirror here, you have a camera built into the side here with a little cover for water, so you can use that all the time. Anytime you put it in signal, it's going to show that camera on your front screen. So we've seen it on the outside. Let's take a look at what we have going on inside. Okay, so this is what the slides in. Get a feel for what it looks like as you're traveling down the road. So you got some space right up here. Little tight, but you can walk through there pretty comfortably. You know, here in the back, you can still access everything you have in the kitchen. This is a full-size fridge. Opens up all the way with plenty of space. And you can get back here to the bathroom without any problem at all, so that's pretty comfortable. Let's get this thing opened up. All right, now we got this thing opened up. You can see you got a ton of space in here. We're gonna start looking at all the features you have inside. But first, if you're enjoying the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Any questions you have, leave them in there. Also want to do one more thing. I want to give a big thanks to our help here. This is Tucker, my brother. Back again. So what do you do for a living, Tuck?
I also sell RVs too as well, and I do all the dirty work when it comes to doing the recording for the camera.
Yes, this is our cameraman here. He does a great job. We love to have him in. Also, a lot of insight. Tucker's got a lot of experience. How long have you been selling RVs?
Almost 8 years now.
8 years, that's a long time. So he's got a lot of insights. Great to have him here to tell us things. If you want to get a hold of Tucker, you can find his number right here on the bottom of the screen. He's always happy to help you out, whether it's a motorhome, a trailer, a big diesel pusher, whatever it is. It's a wealth of knowledge, and he's got some pretty good insights there. So we always want to say thanks to him. Now, I always want to start out in the cab. Fleetwood does a great job with how they put this cab together. You know, you have all of your Ford components built into the chassis here, as far as your steering wheel, your dash, and all the information you have up here. But what Fleetwood brings to the table is this really comfortable seat, big seat, really nice furniture. This is all done by Apex Furniture. If you want to set me right here. But the actual part of the cab here, it's just very open. One thing I really love about this new V8 engine, the Godzilla engine, is that they dropped the engine down 11 inches from where the prior V10 was sitting. So it has a straight drive shaft back to the rear axle, whereas prior you had like a CV joint that dropped down. By having that straight axle, it took a lot of the vibration out of the chassis, so it does add some smoothness to the ride that we really didn't see prior. But looking from here, I want to show us what we got from every corner of this piece. Of course, you have the MCV shades on the side. You've got a power front shade, which you can drop down right there from the front. You have heated mirrors, power mirrors built in right here. You have, of course, your hazard lights, your traction control system, lighting. You have speakers down here as part of the surround sound system. To the right of your steering wheel here, you have the control for your hydraulic leveling system. Now this is all automatic, so on, auto, you can pretty much just walk away from it, which is pretty comfortable. You have your in-dash screen right here. Now this does your Apple CarPlay, Samsung, Android Auto, but it also has your camera system built in. So I just put the right signal on. You can see how it just pops that right up. Very convenient for understanding what's next to you with your parking, or when you're making a signal, making sure you can comfortably get by there. Of course, you got your controls for your ACs, where you can turn your generator on and off, park and travel radio. Then over here in the passenger side, you've got kind of a little workstation built in. You know, some storage built into here, and then this one pulls out as like a little desk area. You have an outlet down here where you can plug things in. Some extra counter space up here, I guess like dash space. And then this piece here, I want to point out there's lots of USB outlets, good cup holders, and a great place to set things down. Also, this chair, I can find the piece for it. Oh, that's that one. There it is. We'll turn to the side. And there's another table that can sit right here, but it kind of adds to this front living space. This is an RV that is in the same category as a lot of Class C's, both in price and in size. So having this whole front 6-7 feet of the vehicle where you don't get that on a Class C really makes a big difference. Also with the theater seating here, this kind of makes as a third theater seat. Very comfortable to see what you have with the TV there. Moving down from the back, actually one more thing up here. This has the drop down bed. So let's bring that thing down. Yeah, if you want to keep the camera on that.
Key will be in the...
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to fast forward through this. Let's just keep it running for now.
You don't have the second set?
Say what?
I have the second set.
It's okay, I'm going to this up. Might have the set with the key on it. What you got here? Is that it? Yeah. All right, so you can see your drop-down bed that you have built in above the cab up here. It's got this nice memory foam piece. It's probably between a full and a queen size, but it's unlike the Class C, it's there when you need it, out of the way when you don't, so we really like that feature. Moving on to your living room area of the RV. Here on the driver's side, you've got a smart Sansui TV, windows on both sides that have those MCD shades just like the rest of the parts of the motorhome. Really nice furniture. The upholstery here, it's all done through Apex, but it's really quality and comfortable as it would compare to most of them. And then a pretty wide dinette table there. You know, some of them are just a few inches shy of this, so I like the way that works. This is going to drop down and make into a bed. Also on the sides here, you have outlets, USB outlets, all in very comfortable places. This one here is also some storage on that side. Over here on the passenger side, let's start up top. We've got some really nice storage in there. I really like the cabinet's color. It's kind of an off gray, but it's very light and gives a good contrast for what we have in the motorhome. These also feel very sturdy. They're solid wood cabinet doors. Everything is in a very good space there, so we like the way that works. Light here, big windows. You got windows on both sides of the motorhome here in the living room area. This theater seating is really nice. Apex does a wonderful job with this. You know, you can pop in here, pulls out, and then it'll actually push. Let's see if I can pop down here. Pretty flat. So not a bad setup here at all. You've got some extra storage built in there as well. There we go. While we're here, I want to talk about a few of the things that makes Fleetwood a little bit different. A lot of RVs in this category of pricing don't really put a lot into the construction and design of the motorhome. You know, this is the entry-level vehicle that Fleetwood makes. You know, from here it's the, you know, Flair, Fortis, the Flexes in there too, Bounders, and then into their diesel lineup, all the way through what Rev makes in the American Eagle that's $1 million and change. But there's a lot of practices in their construction that go kind of across the board, such as their power lock, interlocking structure. Most of them will just put the RV on top and kind of drill them in. They have an interlocking structure that creates a water barrier on the sides, but also adds some extra strength to the framework of the chassis, or the framework of the home of the motorhome. Also, as far as the chassis goes, they add extra steel and structure to that saddle chassis that makes it very sturdy in comparison to most. Also on the walls, you know, most RV manufacturers are going to do a vacuum bonding process, much like Fleetwood does here. But they go the extra mile, and instead of using just a backing strip of Luan, Asdel, or some substrate material, they don't even have that. They just have a really thick piece of fiberglass that can eliminate delamination as a whole. So they've done a great job as far as that goes, and that same quality of construction is present here in a Flair that you get in something that's far more expensive. So really like the way that they put that together. So moving on to the back, you know, here by the door you have all of your controls such as your awning, lights, your leveling, or to check your levels, so your level display system there, as well as your generator controls. Also your inverter control is right in here. Slide outs, that drop down bed we touched. Here, as we move back, this is a residential refrigerator. So lots of depth here, lots of good size to it. The freezer and the fridge are separate. So this is going to be very user friendly for someone who's has a lot of stuff with them. If you're going to be in the RV for a while, that's all very good. Here in the kitchen, you have a lot of storage. Nice drawers. Everything closes really nice, very sturdy. Some extra power right here. A two-sided sink. I do like how they have the black fixtures, both in the hardware for your cabinets and right here. It's another part of the decor, this little glass inlay. It's like a tinted glass inlay. Looks really nice. But there's some good storage right there. Extra counter space back behind the sink and a really nice backsplash. Kind of has a very modern look to it. From that, we call that Art Deco. Really big microwave. Just pretty nice. Then you have your 3-burner cooktop. And then this really nice oven built down there at the bottom. Extra storage right here. This slide too isn't very deep, so even when it's in, it's still easy to operate this whole part of the RV. Moving towards the back, you know, a lot of them just have a very simple accordion style door. This is a solid wood door. It goes all the way through and closes all the way. It even closes there at the top. You know, a lot of them don't really have that that closes this off as nice as that does. Here's your pantry too. Look at the width of this pantry and the depth you have there as well. All very sturdy quality in the construction of how they put this together. Definitely a big fan. For your storage here in the back, this is actually wider than the doors give it credit for. You see how wide that goes back there? Then you have some really nice drawers underneath. This is the J control system that connects to your stereo system inside and outside. You can control it all from the J control app on your cell phone too, so that's pretty nice. And then before we go into the bathroom, let's point this out right here. King size bed. So 28-foot motorhome with a king size bed built into it. You get to have a lot of the livability of a much larger RV while still staying under a size that gives you the ability to camp pretty much anywhere. So it's a really nice feature there. You have USB outlets and outlets on both sides. You have windows on both sides of the bed that can open up to let a nice breeze in. Part of your surround sound comes back here as well. Nice little reading lights and really good storage up top. Built-in bedroom TV, that's a smart TV as well. Light control here and then a control for your slide out. And then last but not least, look how nice this door is. Very heavy, very sturdy door, very smooth in how it cleans or closes right here, so we like that. Moving back in here to the bathroom, you see some extra storage up top. Nice little medicine cabinet space here. Good little counter space here as well. Let's check this out. How this is set up, you got plenty of space, plenty of elbow room. Got to give this to 4-piece. And then the last piece, show this right here. Some good storage underneath. Glass shower enclosure, plenty of elbow room in here. And you got some good height built in. Also, I can see this has the shower miser built in, so that recirculates your hot water that tankless hot water heater is putting in there, so you're not wasting any of your energy. Just very efficient overall. Okay, so we've seen the RV. Now comes the fun part. Tucker, I'm going to call you in here first.
All right.
So, you know, you've met a lot of folks here at the dealership and seen what folks like and dislike about things. What are a few things you like about this motorhome?
A few things that I'd say I like about this motorhome is I love the theater seating that you get in this. A lot of smaller motorhomes really do lack in that, and they give you that awkward sleeper sofa couch that's not very comfortable, so I think having this smaller RV would be really nice with that theater seating. I love some of the upgrades that they've done in the 2024, like adding the side cameras actually into the mirrors. Before they were placed a little bit further down on the coach, so it actually gives it a much better view, I think. And I love that extra now outside storage hole that they have, to where if you had anything that you wanted to have plugged in, you could actually run it from underneath and not have to worry about opening and closing that door.
That's some great insight. You know, a lot of folks would look at 23s, 24s, not really know the difference of how those things come in. One thing I want to point out, you know, every year you go from 23s to 24s, there's always a price increase. Just with how the market is gone, we're not really seeing that huge price increase that we've seen in years past. In fact, it's really similar in price. So you get a few of those upgrades alongside having a motorhome that's a year newer, so it's going to book a year newer. For not a huge jump in price, I think that's a great value that you bring to the table. So you can get this close in price to what you'd see for 23s, but hasn't been sitting on a lot for a year. It's brand spanking new, fresh from the factory with those upgrades. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. I have to say that I like the decor that you have in here. This sits in a price range similar with a lot of Class C's and entry-level motorhomes from other brands that don't have the upgraded decor and just comfortable feel that you have here. You know, we're always selling amongst different brands in the same category, so we see, you know, a lot of RVs that kind of look and feel cheap that are in this same price range, whereas this looks and feels great. Everything's very sturdy and well put together, so I have to say that there's definitely a good benefit there. I have to go with the floor plan itself at this size. This is 29 feet overall. You know, they call it a 28A, but it's 29 feet tip to tip. It's only 12 feet 4 inches high. And look at all the space you have in here. You have features and comfortability like a much larger motorhome. You have this beautiful theater seat that you mentioned right across from the TV, king size bed, great storage, great bathroom, all in this very small size. And throughout the years, I've met more and more people every year who want to stay shorter for accessibility for different parks, but still have those features of bigger motorhomes. So that's definitely a good pick there. The last thing I want to say is that your outside camp area here, with the slides just being on the driver's side there and having that huge awning, it's very camp friendly. You know, great for tailgating, great for hanging out outside of the RV, and that's the whole point of getting out there and exploring a little bit. Okay, so now we got to go to the hard part. So we got to come up with a few things that we dislike about the motorhome. So what do you think, Doug?
Well, similar to what we had with the Flair 29M2 as well, I'd say maybe some additional storage would be really nice to have. And again, the oven and microwave. I would prefer going with a convection microwave and eliminating the oven to give you some additional storage. Those would be the two big ones, I think.
Okay, one more. What do you got?
One more I would say is I would always prefer 50 amp over the 30 amp being a floor idiot.
Okay, so one AC here, even though it is the bigger 15K AC, I can see what you mean about going with the 50 amp. I will point out that is an option for this vehicle. A lot of times we don't even option that in because, as you can see here today, it's what, 95 degrees outside, and it is pretty cold in here. So it does a good job, but I can see the benefit of having two ducted throughout like that option gives you. So that's definitely a good point. The one thing I want to point out, when we came in here, it gets a little tight right here. You know, you have enough space to get through, but you kind of have to wobble through with the slides closed. So I'd say that's kind of a dislike for how the one goes. You stole my 50 amp when I was going to use that one too. What's the last one I want to bring? Oh, that's tough. Storage outside, that's another good one. So we got the storage outside. We got the closability here. Oh yes, I've got a good one. Here, let me show this to you. This floor plan requires you to flip the bed. Now for a lot of folks that doesn't matter. You're not going to be sleeping in the bed when you're going down the road, but to get this slide in, to go down the road, you have to flip that bed up. So I can see how that can be a dislike as well. If you look at the 29M floor plan, the bed's fixed. So that's definitely a trade-off as far as that whole thing goes. Again, I want to thank you. If you're enjoying the video and you want to see more like it, tell us what RV you'd like to see next. Like the video, share it, subscribe. We're always happy to get information out there to folks who want to see it. Or part of the good part here, if you want to become an owner of a 28A Flair, you can get a hold of us there. This RV, as it's advertised on our website, has an MSRP of $171 and change, which we have discounted as part of MAP pricing. That's minimum advertised pricing at $125. So pretty big discount off right there, about 25%. But We're Fleetwood's biggest dealer in the country, and we'd love to get you a great deal so you can become a part of the Fleetwood family and a part of our family here at General RV. So give us a call, me or Tucker, and we're happy to help you out there. We take trades, or if there's a different vehicle, whether new or used, we're always happy to help you out with that too. Again, thanks for watching. Any questions you have, leave them down there in the comments. Have a great day.